Hello and welcome to this BB Education cuts tutorial. Today we're focusing on creating a disconnected layered look on a long flowing layered shape, keeping the outline strong but having a short internal layer. We'll begin this haircut with our mapping process. We're going to work with the halo section. Halo section is great to isolate the internal from the external. Here we've roughly mapped away about 40% of the hair, leaving about 60% in the base. We want to leave a good 2 inches from the outline all the way around the head. This is so that we don't thin out pockets of the hair where the hair is at its lowest density. The back obviously has the highest density, which is why we're higher in comparison to the hairline at the front. So we have to be very mindful of the effects this layer will have, even though we are mapping the hair out of the way. So again, the whole aesthetic here of our halo section is to isolate with a circular section a large quantity of the internal shape, allowing us to set an internal layer, then decide on how we connect it and how we preserve the outline. So we just take a vertical section and we start to look at how we're going to layer. So again, our vertical shape is round, it's following the head shape. We're going to focus on the bottom left hand corner first. We're going to be taking a pivoting section, working directly from the crown. So our section will pivot like orange segments, working all the way around each section we're going to cut in each quadrant of our halo section. And now I'm going to be taking the same pivoting process I've just done. Notice my body position is the same as it was before. I'm not working from the top to the bottom, I'm working from the bottom to the top. All my sections are going to be over directed in the middle of one another. This is giving me a round horizontal shape. Start to bring down and comb down all the wig wrap hair, which is, I say, roughly 60% of the total mannequin hair. So it's quite a lot of it. So it really helps to preserve. Obviously, the higher ratio to layer, the more impactful it's going to be. If I wanted a mullet, for example, I'd probably have taken 70% into the halo section. We're now going to form a radial section, working behind the ear from the crown. This is due to how we're going to connect in. We're going to discuss that in a moment, but for now you will just take a radial section working from the crown to behind the ear, not on the ear. It's very important that you do go behind the ear with this section. So at the back we're going to be working with vertical sections, and we're going to be pulling each section directly out of its own base and blending it in with a slicing motion. We'll come back to the front in a moment. So I take the bottom part of my halo section, I pull the section straight out, and I'm going to work with a slicing motion. Is it really that simple? No, of course not. We're not going straight down without slicing. If we did this, we'd remove too much length. We're travelling as close to the horizontal as we can, whilst connecting in with a lovely scooping motion our shape. Now, once we've done this, we'll clip all the hair at the back out the way so it's neat and organised, and we're able to start to focus on the front. Now, as we spoke about before with the front, there's a lot less hair here, and I also want to create a face frame effect to the layer. So understanding that from the Masteroid process forward, we've got a lot less hair. That is the main reason why we've zoned the hair in this way, is to preserve as much outline as we possibly can. So with the back sections, we worked vertical. Here, we're still going to start vertical off the profile, but each subsequent section will be over directed back to the first section. So essentially we start at the center point at the top, working straight out from the forehead, but then each subsequent section will be pulled up, meaning that the impact is lessened with each section we take, helping us to preserve the outline in the areas where the density is at its lowest. So here we take a vertical profile section. We're going to pull this vertical section out, take the final point of our halo section as a guideline, and working the same process we have. We're going to be slicing a short to long outline. But now you can also see we've got a lovely face frame. It just needs a little bit more sharpening up. So I'm going to pull the hair and I'm going to do a very small slicing motion to help to crispen out and to give more structure to the face frame. This completes the look. We're going to blow dry now, but I just wanted to show you we have got some really quite short layers, but it hasn't really affected the haircut in a dramatic way. So here we have our shape without being texturized or really any more work done, and it already looks really quite nice. I'm really happy with the shape. I feel it does need more work to help connect it all in, but I'm really happy generally. So even if now if I start to loosen the layer, I don't feel it's too abstract. If I really felt like it looked almost a bit mullety, I know a mistake has been made somewhere. It should look like a long layered haircut, and only when you start to wake the layers up with movement do you notice the disconnection. So we've got our 2 levels of disconnection. With point cutting really rapidly, I'm going to be almost as if I'm slicing the hair, but I'm using point cutting. To style the hair, we've prepped with some dry shampoo and a little bit of hairspray. But I would like to stress that I very rarely use product until I'm happy and I think it's finished. Using the mirror and I'm making assessments of the shape, I always feel that if I have to force the shape to look good with product, it probably isn't cut correctly. So what I aim to do is to get the shape looking how I want without the product. That's when I know I've finished. That's when I know the texturizing's done. And I only use product to fix the shape in place, to give some structure and some hold. So I don't use product to achieve the style. I actually only use the product to hold it. And that completes today's tutorial. We really hope that this tutorial has given you some insights into diversifying your approach into working with layers on the salon floor, and also help give you more confidence with trying to integrate short layers into a long shape. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.